Alright guys, so for today we're going to be doing a get ready with me. It is Memorial Day. It is really beautiful outside, quite hot. So I want to make sure that my makeup stays put all day and looks good throughout the day. I actually did a similar look yesterday. We were out most of the day and it held up really well. So I want to show you guys what I used and what I would recommend in case you're wondering what products work for the hot summer days. I already went ahead and applied some sunscreen. Today I used the Supergoop Glow Screen. It has an SPF of 40. So I worked that into my skin really well. And now for my foundation niche product. So I have the new, what are these called? It's the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder. You can use them as a primer, use it as a foundation, use it over your foundation. Honestly, I've tried it as a primer and I think they look wonderful, but I really enjoy these as a standalone product for all around my face. I feel like it performs so good. The reason why I have two is because I initially picked up shade 3 thinking this would be perfect for me. Put it on, it was too light. So then I picked up shade 4 and I ordered these online. I'm not sure if they're available at the Sephora store yet. But 4 seems a little bit too deep for me. So I ended up keeping both and I mixed the two. I've only used my fingers to apply. So with one finger I pick up one shade, the other. So here you can see there's quite a jump in the shade. Because of the type of product it is, you may not need to find your exact shade, but mine were a little bit too off either way. And because I do like to use these on their own, again, I just prefer to mix the shade. So I just go in and just start blending it into the skin. And it blends fairly easily. It almost turns into like a cream to powder feeling as I'm applying it. I do have more of a combination skin, so my T-zone does tend to get oily. And I find that this product really helps to kind of avoid it from getting too oily throughout the day, which is why I think it has worn really well for a long period of time, as well as while being out in the hot weather. But yeah, so as far as today, we're not really gonna do much. My husband went to the grocery store earlier. He picked up a few things for us to make for lunch. So yeah, we'll make a few salads and just grill out a little bit. It's just gonna be him and I because I am tired. I had a long weekend. We did a lot and I just want to kind of chill today. But I like to have my makeup done, so I thought I would film and show you guys a quick look. And also, I mean, I just really wanted to talk about this with you guys as well. It's a newish product and it's definitely worth talking about. Maybe if you have dry skin, I'm not sure if you'll like this as much as I do. Though I do have some dryness around my cheeks. Overall, I don't have dry skin. For my concealer under the eyes, I'm using the Dior Forever Skin Correct. This is just super reliable to last me all day long and provide me with the coverage that I'm looking for. And then to spot concealer, I really like this one from Clé de Peau. It also has some SPF in it, SPF of 25. I like it for under the eyes, but I don't want something with a little bit more coverage, which is why I use that Dior concealer. And I'll just use this around my face. This is the older formula. I have not tried out their updated one. At some point, I do plan on picking that up, but I want to finish up this one before I go in with the new one, because then I tend to not use one or the other and then my products just go to waste. So I'm trying to avoid that. I actually still have quite a bit left there. Okay, so with a sponge, I'm gonna blend this in. And all of these work really good together so it doesn't look so heavy on me. That's one thing I try to avoid, especially if I'm going to be outside, is to over apply my makeup, like especially my base. So like my foundations and my concealers, just because, I don't know, especially when it's sunny outside, it just tends to look a lot more heavier. And if it's hot, you kind of tend to feel it more. And I'm just more kind of conscious about my makeup, so I'm more comfortable with thinner layers. Okay, so this is how the skin is looking so far. You can still sort of see my imperfections, but I'm not trying to hide everything right now. I'm not trying to mask my face. I just want my skin to look nice, healthy, and last me all day long. So I am going to go ahead and powder. I actually recently pulled this one out and it's so good. It's from Rodile. It's the glass powder. It has a little bit of a peachy tone, but I don't find that it darkens my under eyes. And just going in directly with the sponge, I'll pick some of this up and set the T-zone. One thing I've heard is that it is not recommended to use powder with this blurring balm powder. It could be a little bit too drying, so it's going to depend on your skin type. But because my T-zone does get oily, I want to get ahead of that. So this actually helps set it and helps with the longevity without it looking dry. And I think it works really well with the Yummy product. It's almost like a hydrating powder. Should I call it a hydrating powder? I don't know. It like mattifies, but without disguising too much like your natural skin or the products that you applied under. I don't think that really made a lot of sense, but it does so good. It smooths out so well. And here I actually have quite a bit of dryness, but I think it looks really good with these products combined. And still, you know, again, I'm powdering. So if you have dry skin, maybe don't powder and see if that balm still works for you. But if you have dry skin and you're looking for a good loose powder, you may want to try this one. So as far as bronzer, I've actually really been into this new one from Charlotte Tilbury, the Beautiful Skin Sun Kissed Glow Bronzer. So this is a medium shade. I also have a brush which I'll be using again today. And depending how hard you go in, you can pick up a lot of product at once, or if you want to build it up, just go in a little bit softer. This brush is very, very soft, so I can only imagine if you use a dense brush that you're going to pick up quite a bit of product. So maybe go in with a light hand at first, and then from there you can determine if you want to keep adding some or not. But this bronzer is so beautiful. It's almost like a cream to powder, because although it is a cream bronzer, it's not as creamy as any of my other bronzers. I mean, really, I looked at them all. I actually pulled them all out because I do want to do a video where I talk about all of my cream bronzers. And really, I don't have anything quite like this. But although it has more of that cream to powder consistency, like, it doesn't look super matte on the skin. So just that beautiful warmthness that it adds to the face. I love this. So I did my eyebrows and I just primed my eyes. My eyelids get very oily, so even when I'm using cream products on my eyes that dry down really well, I still tend to prime them just to be on the safe side. So today I'm going to use two of my favorite cream products. One of them is actually I haven't pulled it out yet, have I? No. One of them is an eyeshadow stick. This is from Laura Mercier and it's in the shade Cocoa. It is my favorite from the line, though I have several beautiful caviar sticks, which is what they're called. This is just one that I gravitate towards a ton. I like to use it on its own, blend it out all over the lid. I like to use it as eyeliner or to smoke out the edges. It also works really well as an eye primer if I want to add some intensity and a lot of depthness to my eye look. So these are very reliable and they're wonderful for the summertime because they just don't budge. And then another one that I really, really love, this is perhaps my favorite, definitely my go-to single eyeshadow. It's from Charlotte Tilbury and it is the Eyes to Mesmerize in Oyster Pearl. So this used to be called Marie Antoinette. As you can see, I've used quite a bit of this. I'm gonna start off with the caviar stick. And I'm not going to be very precise with my application. This is just going to be mostly to add a little bit of depthness on the lash line and the outer corner. And I do like to work in sections. You definitely want to do one eye at a time for a much easier blend. But now I'm going to go ahead and go in with Oyster Pearl and with another synthetic brush. This is a dual fiber from MAC. I'm just going to go ahead and apply it on the lid. Okay, so I'm going to apply some mascara. I would recommend a waterproof mascara for really hot days, especially if you plan on being outside. Just better be safe, because there is really nothing worse than getting transfer from your mascara, because it is extremely, extremely difficult to just kind of clean off or correct throughout the day, especially if you're out and about. But since I don't have one in my personal collection, I'm just gonna use this one from Myricks, which I like. This is more of a tubing mascara actually. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply a few layers of this, and then I'll decide what I wanna do with the bottom lash line. Okay, I'm actually gonna go ahead and apply just a little bit of this in my waterline. This has a pretty good longevity. Honestly, I don't have an eyeliner for the waterline that just truly doesn't budge. Now, when I say that this one kind of budges, I'm not saying that it smears. You just end up losing some of that eyeliner because it transfers on the top lash line or whatnot. But it is reliable in the sense that it will not make a mess out of your eye look. So just something light like that. I'm not gonna add any mascara on the bottom lash line. Actually, let me add another coat of mascara though on top, because I forgot I wanted to pile it on a little bit. Moving on for blush, I pulled out this one from Patrick Ta. My case is disgusting. I'm not a fan of this packaging. It looks really pretty, but it gets so gross and it's really hard to clean. But anyway, it doesn't quite matter because the blush itself is super good. So this is the Double Take Cream and Powder Blush in the shade She's That Girl. I've really been into brighter, actually let me show it to you guys like this. I've really been into brighter blushes these days, and this one's really, really good. I felt like I hadn't used his blushes, I was picking up a brush, in a while, and I don't know why I kind of did that, because they're awesome. Okay, I literally just had a change of plans. My sister niece just called inviting us over, so we're just gonna take what we were gonna make for lunch to her house, and so last minute plans it is. So okay, I am wearing my makeup for a reason today. I'm happy I did go ahead and apply that SPF. I'm applying this Patrick Ta blush, so I go in with the powder first and just really pile this on. I love me a blushy cheek. And this one, again, just like all the products that I'm using it because of how reliable it is and how long lasting it is on me. I think also because we're layering this blush, actually I don't think I finished explaining it to you guys. I'm sorry, I got the call and I got distracted. But it is dual. Well, I told you guys the name of it, and I'm sure you all have seen these blushes from him. It's got a powder side and then a cream side. So you apply the powder first and then layer the cream on top. Of course, you can really use this however you please, but I do find that using it that way, it allows for more longevity with the makeup. Okay, so with my sponge, I went ahead and picked up some of that cream blush, and then I'm gonna apply this over top here. See how nice and just healthy the cheeks look like that? Love it, love it. One last thing for the cheeks. I might actually still powder a little bit more, but one last thing for the cheeks, just to add a little bit more of that kind of glossiness, is going to be this Westman Atelier Super Loaded Tinted Highlighter. Now this one's in the shade Peau de Soleil. Peau de Peche is my all-time favorite one, but this one's a little bit more bronzy. So I actually like to use kind of like the longer side of my sponge and pick up some of that product there, and then just kind of lay it down here and then onto the forehead. If you don't like to add too much glow onto your skin, you might want to skip this or skip the cream part from the blush. But these kind of thin layers, I don't add too much of it, just do make all the difference. Just because I'm really trying to familiarize myself with this more, and also to add a little bit more brightness onto the center of my face, I have the Vital Pressed skincare powder. The shade I picked up is Pink Bubble, which I really like. I find that it does brighten pretty nicely. It's like a subtle brightness that it adds in my under eyes or wherever I apply it. And I like it. It's very thin. And it does, you know, kind of give a little bit of that airbrush effect. So I like to keep my lips very simple, especially because I'm going to be eating. I don't really want to be too concerned with what's going on with my lipstick. So using a lip gloss like this one from Chanel, it's the Rouge Coco Gloss in the shade 804, is just perfect because it's also very easy to just apply throughout the day. So it is just one of my go-to products. Really any gloss that has a little bit of a tint. Lastly, this is an essential for me. I have to set my makeup just in case. If I feel like I'm looking a little bit dry, I usually do go in with my, I can't believe I forgot the name of this, my Fix Plus from MAC. This is an all-time holy grail of mine. I always have one handy. I do like that it melts kind of the makeup into the skin really nicely, but I wouldn't say that it adds longevity. This one, on the other hand, does. It does feel a little bit heavy when you first apply it. It is fragrance to something else I don't like very much. Once it completely sets, I no longer feel that I have this on my skin. So yeah, I definitely add quite a bit of this just to make sure that everything stays put. Alright guys, so this is the final look. I am going to go ahead and get some things ready because I need to head out the door soon. But at least I know that my makeup is good and I won't have any problems being out and about wearing all of this today. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give me a thumbs up. And if you have not yet, do not forget to subscribe so you do not miss out on any of my future videos. Thank you guys so much for spending some time with me today. Until next time.